everyone. I am Joti Balani. I am founder and managing director of FreshRiver.ai. We're a conversational AI and data science consultancy. We do strategy and delivery work for the Fortune 100. And I am joined today by Shyamala Prayaga. Am I saying that name correctly?
Shyamala Prayaga, that's
right.
There
we go. She's actually worn many, many hats, but she's currently with NVIDIA, and she heads the whole conversational AI product sector. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Oli.
How are you enjoying yourself at the show here now?
Oh, this is amazing. I'm really enjoying the show here. It's good because there's so many cool things happening. I'm learning about new stuffs and new people, new companies, new products, and what's happening in the space. So it's all great, and meeting all old friends. So
yes,
that's always cool.
That's right. So I think the real life thing is really, I think we appreciate that more than ever, right?
Yeah.
So tell our listeners a little bit about NVIDIA.
Many people know NVIDIA as a chip company, a GPU company, right? But NVIDIA is more than that. Like, they've been working on so many cool stuffs, right? From conversational AI. AI is our core technology and always powered by the GPUs, which we have, right? And we are working on enabling voice in so many different ways. We have our own speech AI where we focus on speech recognition technology, and we have world-class ASR, which is able to do a lot of things. We are able to support many languages, but at the same time we also have text-to-speech. We also have another product called Custom Voice where customer can record their own voice using 30 minutes of recording. So that's amazing. So we are working on Convey AI in all different aspects. Building more emotions and stuff like that. But at the same time, we also have large language models where customers can try out a language model which we have built. So that's another thing we are focusing on. So that's my part, the part which our team works on. But there's more than that. We have autonomous cars which we are working on, and we are working on a lot of cool stuffs like MetaHuman and Avatar Cloud engines, and we have Omniverse and all these things. So we have a lot of things happening in the space.
That's fantastic. And I think the advantage from at least from what I see is having that core technology of the GPU, which is graphical processing units, I think enables you to actually deliver things faster, right?
That's right. That's the thing. Because, GPU is the core. You need it for training, you need it for inferencing,
right.
You need it for everything, right? And the more powerful GPUs you have, the more you'll be able to do with your AI. That's where, we play well because we have both.
That's correct. Yeah, owning those layers are really, really important. And obviously with what's happening globally with the chip supply,
right.
Having control over that, I think, is even an added advantage, right?
Yeah.
So you actually come from a very long history of conversational AI, right? I think you were with Ford.
I did.
Way back. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I worked with Ford and I led the autonomous voice assistant division. So I worked on a lot of other things like Ford F-150 and Maki's voice assistant in the car.
Cool.
So it's amazing because voice in the car itself is a very fascinating topic.
That's right.
And I really enjoyed working there. So mostly my role was defining the roadmap for in-car voice assistant, more so on the use case standpoint. What kind of things people want in the car, how do we enable more and more use cases which are specific to the car so that people can focus on the road. And we can reduce the cognitive load because distractions happen all the time,
Right.
So I was working on those, but at the same time, Amazon and Google also had their own Auto SDK, Alexa Auto SDK, and Google Auto Services, GAS. So my job was also making sure that how do we enable those things in the car. Pretty much integrating and working on the roadmaps.
So given how deep you've got in the autonomous vehicle space, with NVIDIA being another part of the ecosystem, right? That's a very powerful combination, right? How do you bring this to life? So I don't know if you'll be able to reveal, but is NVIDIA chips are being used across many car manufacturers, or is it beginning to take hold?
As far as I know, yes, but I cannot reveal the company names. But definitely, now that we are talking about edge computing and we are talking about voice in the car and people wanting their own proprietary voice assistants, not just powering Alexa or Google's assistant in the car.
Correct.
Definitely, there's more and more demand for sure.
That is amazing. You've actually written a book. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I come from a design background. I've been a UX designer for 20 years and then moved on into product management role. So what I figured is we as an industry, we design products, or most of the time, when it comes to conversational AI products, from like, let's design something and then find the users for it. And that's exactly what happens in the case of like Alexa's launch as well, right? We built the product and we later on realized like, yeah, okay, this is for the user, this user and all, instead of thinking the other way around. So what I want to do is change that mindset for people. So the goal is, when people interact with a voice assistant, they just look at the tip of the iceberg. I love to give this example because this is exactly what it is. When people talk with the voice assistant, they just look at the tip of the iceberg, but they don't look at all the different things which forms the assistant, like all the building blocks of voice, enablers of the voice.
Right. Yeah.
Right? But all of those enablers are so important in order for the voice to experience or voice to have that kind of experience. The problem is all the below surface layers like speech technology or the analytics or the conversation design itself or analytics or privacy or accessibility, all of these are not being talked anywhere, and we are working on it. Users don't care about it. In users' mind, all they care about is how did the assistant made me feel? Did I have an emotional connection with it or not?
Right.
So that's when I figured, like, we need to be talking more about these things, like how we can humanize every element which is below the iceberg, so we can make the tip of the iceberg experience more emotionally engaged. Because people want emotive assistant, they want human-like voice, they want human-like intelligence.
Yeah.
Our assistants are by far not there yet.
No, I think we're very early.
Yeah.
I think there's something around the emotional intelligence, right? From a sentiment analysis, I think the last couple of years you've probably seen really cold chatbots, right?
Right.
People are like, it's not something that I want to work with. To all the way extreme where technologies where they're looking very human-like and we're getting into the uncanny valley, right? Especially avatars, right? Where do you draw that line in saying you can't, obviously not take sentiment analysis? You have to, because like you said, the tip of the iceberg is ultimate delivery.
Yeah.
How it's delivered, they don't care, but they know when they don't like an experience.
Exactly.
To all the way where it is so real, that they cannot tell the difference between the human and the AI assistant. Like, where are you on that spectrum?
So, see, I definitely believe in that we need to have a balance, and it will not come. We need to balance it in a way in the conversation design, because yes, people are expecting human-like voice, human-like assistant, and that is why AI avatars exist, right? Meta-humans, we are talking about them all the time.
Yeah.
Because we want to create an avatar which looks like a human and which has all of the emotions and all of the expressions like human, including the body language like we have, and that's absolutely fine. Where the balance comes is the conversation design. Like, at what stage do you stop? Right? For example, if you ask the assistant questions which is beyond appropriate, beyond appropriate, then it should have a balance. Otherwise, it will become like the movie Her, where the person was thinking they're talking with a real person, and then started liking it and had some sort of relationship, wanted to have some sort of relationship, right?
That's right. Yeah.
We don't want to get there, so there has to be like clarity in how we design, and transparency in explaining like this is a bot, right? Google failed there with their duplex, because when the bot was actually talking and making reservations, nowhere they mentioned
that it's a bot.
That it is a bot.
Yeah.
And that's where the clarity and transparency is important. Like, you need to define those things first. It's not the look and feel itself which is important, but every aspect. And that is why I say humanizing conversation design is also important.
Very important. Absolutely. So last 2 minutes, what does the next 6 to 12 months look like with NVIDIA, and for you? What are you driving? Where is your vision at?
So, of course, speech AI, there's a lot happening in this space, and there's a lot of interesting use cases as well, which we need to be focusing on. So the company as a whole, we are really vested in speech AI and enabling more and more capabilities, like humanizing technology, of course, right?
Yeah.
That's the vision which we are driving towards. More and more use cases are coming, and people want customizations, more and more customization. How can I customize my speech pipeline, or how can I customize my text-to-speech pipeline? So in the next coming years, we want to focus on enabling more and more people with low code, no code
that's rising, right? Because I think there's also a large demand for developers and very low supply.
Yeah.
So I think the low-code, no-code approach is really smart, right? To get more people into the space.
That's right.
Because I think the demand's only rising.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much, Shyamala. This has been a
you.
pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the show. We will be keeping an eye on you and NVIDIA.
Thank you so much, Joti.
All right, thank you. Thanks, everyone.